Well, I'm grateful to be here today. I really am. First of all, I have to say this, okay? Any event that we have that's 17 steps away from a tennis court is a good event, okay? I was raised by tennis. My parents were tennis freaks. I've been playing since I was 5 years old. It's really how I got through college, is teaching kids how to play tennis. I can smell the fuzz from here. It's a beautiful thing, okay? And this is an indoor court, by the way. This absolutely is. And I got to tell you, the only thing that's missing is the lid off of the... Jeremy makes $60 million a year, and the clicker doesn't work. This is a cool product. This is a cool product. I'm going to say that one more time. This is a cool product. Jeanette Brooks, I don't even think she's here.
I am.
Okay. Here's the thing about Jeanette Brooks, and I think it does apply. Wayne Gretzky once said, and remember this in business, Wayne Gretzky once said, one of the secrets to my success is I don't skate to where the puck is, I skate to where the puck is going to be. Right? He doesn't skate to where the puck is, he skates it to where it's going to be. That's Jeanette Brooks. In her product development, she is so far ahead of where the puck actually is. She skates to where it's going to be, and for that, frankly, I applaud her. Well done. I bet you've never been compared to Wayne Gretzky.
No.
Also, I want to say this. Within 3 minutes of walking in this tennis dome, which is what this is, I met three guys that work construction. I worked construction for 18 years. I love construction guys. I love guys who build stuff, right? I love guys who build stuff. Anybody can tear something down. I like guys who build stuff, right? Whether it be businesses, whether it be houses, whether it be buildings, whether it be families. Building is an honorable profession, and I respect you and thank you for being here. Thank you. Cool product, right? Cool product. I suggested the box. This is just my suggestion. Jeanette never takes my suggestions. I suggest we go with this exact same design, but we cover it in velvet. Right? You know, someone said earlier today, what does this product say to you? You know, what is it? To me, it says, "What's up, baby?" It's a cool product. It's a very white product. I mean, let's be honest with you. And I love the testimonials. What I want to talk today is that that's what's not working. Who changed my slides? What? You changed my slides? That's not my slide. It's my slide, but it's different. It's very attached to my slides. Right? It's like someone drives your car and they move your seat. Right? It's like, come on, if I'm going to let you use my car, move the seat back. That's common courtesy. You don't change your guys' slides. You don't do that. Anyway, Gracie, I love you and thank you. But here, I want to address something that's important. Okay? It's a conundrum. It's a good product, very white product, should be covered in velvet. Didn't take my suggestion, that's fine. But there's a problem. Now I want to say this. Jonas, there's a lot of testosterone in the room. You feeling that? Seriously? Milo? I mean, stand up, right? You work construction, you lift weights, you're a man's man. Jonas, stand up. Thank you. I feel at home. I'm in a tennis tent. I'm 14 steps away from tennis. I smell the fuzz. I see that. This is the way it ought to be. And I'm going to talk about that today. The product has a problem. The product has a problem. It's a conundrum. And I'm going to address this head on, like all problems in life. Don't avoid it. Don't be afraid of it. Hit it head on. Right? Head freaking on. And I use the word freak. Just for the record. Okay? Head on. And here's the problem. And when I tell you this, I'm going to tell it to you today from a man's perspective. Because my... Yeah, baby. Because my dad taught me something. He said, listen, when you stand before a group of people, my dad's a professor, that's what he does, he teaches. He taught me two things. First of all, you have a responsibility to bring something to the table. Don't just spit out a bunch of superlatives and sit down and not enlighten or help the people in any way. You have a responsibility, and I believe that. He also said, teach what you know. Teach what you know. If you don't know, be smart enough to know what you don't know, and sit down. So today, my angle, what I'm going to talk to you about, is from a man's perspective. Not that I don't like women, it's just I don't understand women. I understand men, right? I know what men think. I know their DNA. I'm one, right? I live my whole life. Thank you for showing up, Andrew. I live my whole life. By the way, that's what we call in business LCPM. Limiting career path move. Don't embarrass your boss in front of a bunch of people. That's a stupid move. You know I do. But today is going to be from a man's perspective. And does it mean that it only applies to men? Absolutely not. Because you, at some point in time, if you're a woman, I would think, would want to sell this product to a man. Okay? But there's a problem. And we're going to hit it straight up. And the problem is this, is the selling dynamic of this product. Can you please change the slides behind the computer? She changed. No. She changed them. She changed them. Okay. All right. Is the selling? Let's talk about the selling dynamic for a while because, and again, straight up, right? There's 3 degrees of awkwardness when it comes to this product. 3rd degree is woman to woman. That's probably more. That's the least amount of awkwardness. You know why? Because in my experience, that women have a more time opening up, right? Especially emotionally. Right? They talk about stuff. They talk about stuff, like real stuff. They just don't keep it on the surface like guys do. They talk about stuff. It's deep, right? Far deeper than any man can comprehend. It's deep. So that's the least degree of awkwardness. Then the next degree of awkwardness is a woman selling to a man or a man selling to a woman. I mean, how do you, if you're a woman, how do you sell this product without the guy not thinking, she's obviously interested in this aspect. Right? And if you're a man, how do you sell this product to a woman without feeling creepy? Hey, baby. So, but that's not, but those 2 degrees of awkwardness is not what I want to address today. What I want to address today is 1st degree awkwardness. 1st degree awkwardness because this is what I know. And what I know is men selling to men. How in the world does Milo sell this to Jonas, right? Without feeling freaky deaky. Right? Because I tell you what, men don't have, and for those of you women who don't know this, and every man will tell me if I'm wrong, Jonas and Milo, or my testosterone bookends today, tell me if this is wrong. Men don't talk about this with men. We don't. We don't. Never. Jim doesn't talk to Bob on their construction break. By the way, all construction guys have 3 names, or 3 letters in their name. Jim doesn't talk to Bob and say, hey Bob, how's your blood flow? 18 years of construction, 12 years of my life playing football, trained with the SEALs. It doesn't happen. Those conversations do not happen ever. So the question is, how do we fix it? How do we fix this? And there's twofold. I have 2 answers today that I hope will help you. And this isn't just a funny presentation. I really want to help you today. I really want to bring something to the table. And the first thing is you have to understand the laws of supply and demand. Please switch the slides behind my thing. You have to understand the laws of supply and demand. Now think about this from a business standpoint. I love business. I love business. Supply and demand matters in whatever business you are. Let's say if you wanted to create build tennis rackets. Okay? You look at the supply of existing tennis rackets, you measure them, you do your homework. Big fan of homework, right? You do your homework and you realize, okay, these rackets are out, this racket's out, this racket's out, and then you look at demand. What do tennis players really want? What is important to them? And if you can find a niche where the demand isn't met by the supply, then you have the sweet spot in business. Then you have something you can really hang your head on, really make some money, and really deliver something valuable to the consumer. Does that make sense? Now, understanding, the reason why you understand and have to understand the laws of supply and demand is because because understanding those in whatever market you're in creates confidence. Knowledge builds confidence, right? When I was a home builder, I knew every home building company. I knew their employees. I knew what they sold their homes for. I knew what they paid their employees. I knew those houses better than those. And guess what? When I designed a house, it was exactly to make that need. What are they not getting from the competition? Does that make sense, right? Okay. So let's take a look for just a second, because I think this is one of the most valuable parts about this product. Please change the slide. Why am I even holding this? Okay. Now again, man's perspective. This is the current supply. Number one in this industry. Number one in this industry is pills. Okay? That's the number one when most men have a, I'm going to call it a blood flow issue. Okay? You're welcome. Most men in this industry, when they have this problem, they think of pills. Why? Not because it's necessarily the best solution, but because, you know, the pill companies advertise during the NCAA playoffs, football, and like sporting events. ESPN's huge on this kind of advertising, right? Which, big fan of ESPN, by the way. It's like, to me, there should be one channel. One. Something catastrophic happens, they can do it around sports. But anyway, so pills. Okay, so but here's the thing. You have to understand long game. Let's talk about long game. And again, you two guys, tell me if I'm off, okay? You think, oh, it's easy. You just go get a pill and you fix it. It's not that easy. You know why? Because now, if I have this problem, now I have to get a prescription to go get the pill. And in order to do that, I have to call the doctor's office. And by the way, doctors never answer. They never answer. They don't answer their phones. They hire a 21-year-old girl to answer their phones, right? And she's nosy. She's like, oh, really? Do you have insurance? Yeah, I have insurance. You give me the information. What are you here for? What do you need to see the doctor for? And I tell her politely, none of your freaking business. So she pushes and she pushes and she's pushing. And finally, you have to, if you're right? This is awkward. I don't want to do this. I don't go to the doctor for any reason. I'm not kidding you. I was in Edmonton. My throat was closing. I was real close to dying. I am not kidding you. This is a true story. And I'm looking at the phone. I'm like, it's not that bad. Chances are I could live through it. Right? Men don't like to go to the doctors. Am I wrong? Jonas? We don't go to the doctors. We don't go to the doctors. You know why? Because the glove. That's why. As soon as we hear that, I'm the hell out of here. I would never touch that glove. First thing I look at when I see a doctor, you got the glove on? I'm out. I'm out. I don't care. I don't care if I die in 10 minutes. You're not touching me with that glove. This is a men mentality. I don't want, and okay, let's say best case scenario. Let's say the girl behind the desk is very accommodating. You go to the doctor and she asks you, by the way, a room full of women, she asks you, what are you here for? And you're like, I'm here for the thing. You know, I want to see the doctor get the thing for the thing. You know, and they don't get that. They have no idea of what innuendo is. Right? So you sit down, the doctor sees you, and even if he doesn't snap the glove, in fact, from the box, right here, again, another suggestion for Dan Martin, right? As the velvet. No glove snapping involved. So best case scenario, I go to the doctors. I finally get in to see the actual human doctor, right? And then I explain to the doctor, and he understands, and he's going to want to snap that glove, right? And he's going to want to check me for everything in the world, because that's what doctors do, right? They make their money on the comeback. Right? They're like mechanics. You're going for a low pressure in your tire, and like, your engine needs completely rebuilt. That's the way doctors are. At least that's how men think, right? I'm not going in because I'm going to walk out with a whole list of repairs. Okay? So then the doctor gives me the prescription, okay? Now what do I have to do? Is my problem solved? No, it's not even close. Because now I have to go to a pharmacy. And I have to talk to a pharmacy assistant in the white coat, which I don't know whether, come on. You're not creating anything. You're wearing a white coat. You're wearing a lab coat. And I hand it to her and says, I would like to get this filled. She says it'll be 48 minutes. Now, why it takes 48 minutes to take pills from a big bottle and put them into a little bottle is beyond my comprehension. I really don't know. But now I have to sit in this pharmacy waiting room area and wait, and then she gets on the speaker and she calls me. My point is this. Men hate that crap. Men hate that crap. Am I wrong? Milo? Giddy up. I'm not wrong. I'm telling you. That's just pills. Now, if I won't go through the pill scenario, am I going to go for shots? No chance, right? I'm going to drop my pants. You know why? That's why. I can go to natural pills, in which case I got to talk to some guy at GNC and you have to walk him through my... I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Surgery, is that going to happen? Hell no. Never. Psychological counseling. If I'm not going to go before a 21-year-old and give him slight innuendos, I'm not going to sit before a psychologist and walk through my whole history of why I'm, blood flow. No way. It's not going to happen. And my point is this. That's our supply. If you have a blood flow issue, this is your only options. This is your supply. That's it. Okay, let's talk about demand. Click. First of all, numbers. Numerically, this is a winner. 43% of women, 33% of men. Think about this. Think about these numbers. At some point in time in their life, have a blood flow issue. That's an important deal. Okay? It's a $4.3 billion market, and by the way, if you look at who has this problem, it's boomers. Boomers. Now, I want to just quickly delineate what a boomer is, because when I was 10 years old, I went to my grandfather's house for a family reunion, which was a horrible idea. Horrible, right? It was traumatic, right? I didn't like it. But anyway, I walked in for the first time I saw my grandfather and grandmother. I couldn't believe, and they were in their mid-60s, and I couldn't believe what I saw. Because I walked in, and they were so close to death. The house had this Bengay funk to it, and everything they did, they moved slow, they act slow, they thought slow. It wasn't life. It wasn't life. They was just waiting to die. And that just depressed me. Now, juxtapose that with my parents. My dad's 75 years old, just turned 75. He is a professor, teaches every day. He has two hobbies. One of them is painting. The other is Xbox. Xbox, right? Do you know what it's like, by the way, for your father, who's 75 years old, to beat you at Madden? Seriously. I failed as a son completely. My point is, my parents, they swim, they walk, they watch their health, they eat right. They're alive, right? Boomers are alive. They want to live. They want to enjoy every morsel, and they want to be healthy. My point is, if this is an issue for a boomer, they want to fix it. They're just not going to endure. They're just not going to check off of, that's just one less thing I can do. They want to fix this, and by the way, they're in their peak earning years, and they can afford to do it. This is, we're talking about demand. We talked about the crappy supply. Now we're talking about the incredible demand for this product. Ancillary benefits. Obviously, beyond just a blood flow issue, it's an athletic performance. Athletic performance. It increases athletic performance. Is there any man in the world, who doesn't want to increase his athletic performance? Seriously, it's in our DNA. We all think we're athletes. We're not. I'm just saying, when we go to sporting events, when we watch ESPN, I'm telling you, the one thought I constantly have is, I could do that. I could do that. I took my son to a freestyle motocross in Vegas many times. These guys do knack-knacks, backflips, everything. At first, my first thought was, because my son was 7, is like, someone's going to horrifically die in front of my son, and I'm going to pay for years of therapy. But after 10 minutes, I'm like, I could totally do that. Just go up and spin 3 times. Every man wants to increase his athletic performance. Every man wants to increase his endurance. Every man, okay? We're talking about demand here, and it's huge. All right, and product prioritization. This product's important. This is a problem a man will fix, right? And think about this. It's healthy chocolate. So instead of calling up the 21-year-old and trying to get an appointment with a doctor, I have an auto ship of healthy chocolate that comes to my door, and my UPS guy doesn't interview me, and he doesn't wink at me and says, got a blood flow issue. None of that. I walk to the kitchen, and I have a piece of chocolate. Do you understand the chasm between what there is and what we are? Do you understand that? Jeanette Brooks skates to where the puck's going to be, not to where it is. Thank you, Jeanette Brooks. Are you guys with me? After this, we can go play some tennis. Change slide. Thank you. All right. Number two. Number two reason. First reason I gave you and how you sell this product to men is understanding the laws of supply and demand, which builds confidence. Second reason is because this product will make you feel more like a man. Right? It makes you feel more like a man. All men want to feel more like a man. Now, I want to tell you something. You know, in a few minutes, Dr. Pedersen's going to come up and he's going to give you a lot of scientific words. Before he does that, I want to introduce you to a scientific word. The word is... This is where truly I feel my presentation is a presentation. This is a public service announcement. We have a problem in this country. And just like I said, just like the conundrum, we could ignore the problem or we could face the problem. And we have a problem in this country. This country, and I'm not overstating this country needs this product. We need this product. By the way, and you have to understand, everything's relative to your paradigm, right? I am a child of the 70s. 70s. And those of you who were born and children in the 70s, you'll understand where I'm coming from. I was what I call the lawn dart era. Right? The lawn dart era. You guys have any idea what lawn darts are? Here's the concept, and I'm not kidding you, this really happened. For Christmas one year, I got a box, I opened it up, it was lawn darts. Here's the concept, okay? You take these metal 5-pound arrows that are sharpened at the tip and has little fins off, and you have 10 of those. And then you have 2 rings. Now here's the idea, and this was a toy. This was a toy. They sold it at toy stores. You and your buddy each got 5 of these spears, these metal spears, and then you took the little ring, and then you walked 100 feet apart and put it down right by your feet. We weren't smart in the 70s. And so you take these 5 darts and you throw them up in the air, and then it's your buddy's job to stare and watch. I'm not proud of that. I'm just saying, you know, we didn't have bike helmets. We didn't have seatbelts. We didn't have seatbelts. Now, I'm not saying that that's right. I'm not. But what I am saying is the pendulum has swung too far in the opposite direction. I'm going to say that again because this is my point. The pendulum has swung too far in the opposite direction. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? One more time. The pendulum has swung too damn far in the opposite direction. Thumbs up, right? We know what we're talking about. So but there's a couple of subtle indicators that I want to point out this, okay? And there, by the way, there's 1,000 different indicators, and you can't tell I'm a little pissed about this. There's 1,000 indicators in life that I see that this is happening, but I want to point out just a couple. The first one is gym rope. A couple of years ago, I go to my son's high school. He's getting an award for football. It was after football season, he's getting an award. Nothing like being a father, right? My son's getting an award for smashing into people at high rates of speed. I go to the gym and I notice, I asked Drake, I says, where's the rope? Where's the gym? He's like, they took that down. They took that down. By show of hands, who grew up in a high school with a gym? See? This is what I'm talking about. Okay, let me tell you what the gym rope means to me. Let me just walk you through what goes on in my brain on a constant basis. Okay? When I was a freshman in high school, you know, I was a typical freshman. They gave me the gym wear, and my shorts were too big, and they were out to here. My shirt was loose, and I tried to climb the gym rope, and the coach that is there, the high school coach, like my dad says, those who can't do, my dad's a teacher, those who can't do teach, those who can't teach gym. That's their evolution. So I go to the gym teacher, and the gym teacher has us climb this rope. Now, as a freshman, I have no muscle whatsoever, so I get about this far, right? In the meantime, I'm seeing these Adonises jam up, and there was a bell on top, jam up and down these gym ropes left and right. Now, here's my point. Did it make me feel a little uncomfortable that I couldn't do this? Yes! Yes! Did I like it? No, I didn't like it. Did I want to avoid the rope? When I was like that? Yes. When I was a sophomore, I climbed to halfway up, right? I played football, I lifted weights, I climbed halfway. Did I revel in the fact that I was able to go halfway? No question. I was happy about that. Why? Because there were freshmen that were going this far. Right? Dude, you'll get there. You know, you'll pat on the back. Skinny kid, lift some weights, be a man. Climb up halfway. In the meantime, juniors and seniors are still climbing up. My junior year, I climbed the rope. I climbed the rope, and the rule is, you climb the rope, you ding the bell, you come back down. I gotta tell you, I climbed that rope. I was dinging that bell like Johnny Cash. Ding, 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 ding. I want the world to know. I own this rope, baby. I own this rope. That's how I felt. You understand? My senior year, the same way. Now, they've taken down the rope. They've taken down the rope. Now, obviously, this is not about a rope. It's about life. Multi-level marketing, it's a rope. Marriage? Rope. Family? Marriage is a rope around your neck. The rope is life. The rope is life. There are going to be things in life that we try that are tough. And there's things that we are going to do in life that we need to work at and aspire to. And there are times in our life where we can really glory in ringing that bell. But you know what? You got to earn it. No one can climb a rope for you. No one. And so when I say that wussification is an epidemic in society, I really mean it. Because we decided to take down the rope. Because heaven forbid, a freshman with too big of shorts feels uncomfortable. You know what that is, technically? The efficient term? Bull jive. That's bull jive. It's not right. It's not right. All right, one more example. Turn the slide, please. This drives me insane. Now think about this. You know, the problem is they make these decisions and they don't think the long game. I'm such a fan of the long game. The long game means everything. Any idiot can play the short game. It takes someone smart to play the long game. And the short game of this decision is that we don't want to make anybody feel bad. And the reality is let's think about this. What message do we send to the child who is horrible at a sport or on a team that was horrible? What message are we really sending by giving them trophies? What? You know, why would I try? Why should I have to try? Yeah. If I sit on the bench eating Cocoa Puffs versus running around getting sweaty, I get the same size trophy. And what message do we send to the kids who work their butts off, who strive, who work, who dedicate themselves, who have discipline in their lives? If I know at the end of the day, Cocoa Puff kid's going to get the same trophy I do. Yep. We need to start embracing hard things in this country, in my opinion. We need to start embracing hard things. Think about this. Think about the people in your life who have really mattered to you. Think about the people in your life who really, fundamentally, to the core, changed you. One of them for me was Coach Foster. Coach Foster was my high school defensive back coach. By the way, defense in football is so much better than offense. Anybody can play offense. It takes someone with brains to play defense. My opinion only. I don't want to offend any wide receivers out there. But Coach Foster was mean. I feared him. I really was afraid of the guy. He had polio when he was a kid. His right leg was about this big, and he'd walk like this. And he'd smoke cigars and chew tobacco, and he'd spit on us. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. He'd spit on your helmet if you weren't doing a job, right? Now, of course, we can't do that today, right? If someone yells at you today, it's lawsuit, you're fired, you know. And I'm not saying that abuse should be applauded. What I'm saying is, if you look at people in your life who have really pushed you, they oftentimes are the people who you didn't like initially. It was hard. They made it hard on you. A good algebra teacher, right? A good personal trainer. Someone who pushed you in business. But they're the ones who bless your life the most, and oftentimes. I'm grateful for hard things. I can tell you that when I think about my life, I think about the lessons learned from those times in the valleys of my life that I was down. And it was hard. And it was really hard. But you know what? Those are the ones I look upon the fondest with, which is kind of ironic. Now, I would tell you that the United States needs this product. Let me take it one step further, believe it or not. Let me tell you that world peace is reliant upon this product. I'm not kidding you, and I'm going to make my case. World peace is contingent upon this very white product. Okay? This XoLove bites. And let me explain something. Now, for those of you who love history, I applaud you. For those of you who don't like history, just bear with me for a minute. 1938, 1939, Hitler invaded Czechoslovakia. Okay? When he invaded Czechoslovakia, he did so under the guise, we are just visiting, right? We are just visiting to protect the interest of the people in Czechoslovakia, right? The interest of the Germans in Czechoslovakia. That was how he played it out. And if you look at how England, the great country, responded to that, it was twofold. Chamberlain, who was prime minister, flies over to Munich and meets with Hitler and basically agrees from a position of weakness, always negotiate from a position of strength. From a position of weakness, Chamberlain gives up Czechoslovakia. He did. He gave it up. Okay? He signed off on it. He basically made a deal with Hitler saying, listen, you just be happy with Czechoslovakia, don't do any more bad stuff, and we'll look the other way. Well, we know what happened. This is the start of World War II. And Churchill, right? Little guy, big cigar, tough guy. Says no. He called Hitler what he was from day one. Eventually became prime minister and, of course, helped in winning World War II. But here's my point. World peace relies upon this. Now, if you understand that history of Hitler and Czechoslovakia, you see a very interesting overlay today with Putin invading Crimea. Why did he invade the Crimea? He invaded the Crimea because his comments were, we wanted to protect the interests of the Russians in the Crimean area. Same exact reason, right? So you have this kind of this showdown between Hitler, between Putin, and Obama. Now, hit the next slide. I want to show you something. Who do you think's going to win? Who's going to win this? Now, I want to point out a couple things because this is relevant. First of all, Putin is riding a horse, right? Manly thing to do. No shirt on, right? He doesn't care about it. No shirt on, and he's wearing welder's glasses, right? In case he needs to get down from the horse, weld something. Damn do, right? Then you got this. And first of all, he's got the helmet, okay? Now, if he had the helmet on, and he was in a position of like downhill, right? That's not what this is. This is like, right? You don't need a helmet. I don't care if you're president or not. You don't need a helmet when you're going this. Right? You don't. President of the United States, Commander-in-Chief, should not be wearing Skechers. Nothing wrong with Skechers, but when you're Commander-in-Chief, maybe an upgrade. Okay? Here's the part that really drives me nuts. Okay? I'm worried. When the 82nd Airborne works for you, at least ride a man's bike. incredible product. How do you sell to a man? You understand the laws of supply and demand. You explain to him the laws of supply and demand. That will build your confidence. More importantly, this product will make you feel more like you ought to be, whether you're a man or a woman. This product makes you feel more like a man. And I can tell you, based upon the research that I've done and everything I see on a daily basis, we need it. Thank you very much.